What's up, guys? I'm Jessica.
And I'm Joe. Congratulations on the commercial, Jessica.
Oh, thank you.
Me-san.
And we are here to deliver this week's hashtag newsfeed. Our news stories this week are Disney's California Adventure, new Guardians of the Galaxy ride, and shake up with the Justice League movie.
Also, Rosario Dawson's growing list of superhero roles for her resume.
Her resume looks like this.
Her agent loves it.
Okay, go on.
Oh, yeah, we're also going to be talking about the Sony Cinematic Superhero Universe that's probably going to be super shitty.
But first, headlines. Wonder Woman was voted most anticipated film of the summer on Fandango.com, which I thought was obvious. But Joe, you saw the movie. What do you think?
I think it's one of the best. What is like one of the best DC movies, and it's the best DC movie in this current DCEU universe.
Will I like it?
You're gonna love it. If you like the animated movie that DC came out with a few years back and Captain America: The First Avenger, you're gonna love this movie. It's really good.
Okay.
Vampires plus video games made by a guy that paints his face. I'm on board. Adi Shankar is debuting on July 7th, the Netflix Castlevania series. First of all, highly anticipated Netflix Castlevania series. He says that this is one of our first times that the Western world is finally going to get a video game franchise that is good. And that is saying a lot because we have, Warcraft, anyone? Game of Thrones. I can't wait. It's coming back in July. And we got our first trailer, but we also got a poster earlier this week of The Night King. But our first trailer featured so much more. I can't wait. July can't come fast enough.
We're so excited.
Dude, it's the best show on TV. But the one thing that does upset me is it's not 10 episodes. It's going down to 7 episodes this season. So we'll see how that plays out. But I can't wait.
The Strain actor Jack Kesey is officially cast in the new Deadpool 2 movie. We don't know exactly who he's playing, but we are speculating that it's villain Black Tom Cassidy.
Yes, so he's supposed to be playing the villain. Black Tom Cassidy is the cousin of Sean Cassidy, aka Banshee, from all you X-Men fans out there, and is mostly seen with, that is right, the Juggernaut, bitch!
Okay, here's why I'm jealous. I want to go to Disney's California Adventure to ride the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride, but I'm pissed because you already wrote it.
I did write it.
You do everything first.
First, you never get those comments that say first. Anyways, I did ride the ride. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout is amazing.
Was it awesome?
It is so cool. So when you first walk in, you see the gold statue of the Collector. You walk in through the thing, you see all the things that he's collected, and there are huge Marvel Easter eggs there. There's a book that's written in Cree that looks like it was under the sea, so a lot of people are connecting that to Namor. There is another hammer there that people are saying is Beta Ray Bill's hammer from the Thor lore. There's so many little things that you can find. Funny enough, there's even Disney Easter eggs in there. There's a little hat from one of the old school rides that the collectors collected. And that's just when you walk in for the line. Then you get a little show. What happens is the collector comes on screen and does this whole spiel, and then a little animatronic Rocket Raccoon comes out, and he does the same spiel, and it's all voiced by Bradley Cooper.
Yes, okay, good.
And then he steals a Walkman, and he says, we got to break all my friends out, but I don't have regular human hands. You guys can get in, and we're going to break all my friends out. So then you get into the ride, and it's essentially the Tower of the Terror. But cool thing about this, there's 6 different songs. Depending on the song that you get is the different cinematics you get. And all the actors are in it. Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, all the Guardians actors are in this.
So it's 6 different versions of the same ride. Just depending on what time you ride it, you get a different
it just depends on which ride you get, because they change it
because it's a demon drop, so sometimes it drops, right? And then other times
right.
It drops.
So let me give you an example.
Okay.
I wrote it twice, and one of them that I remember that I got was the Jackson 5 song, the I Want You Back song. So we did our whole thing, and all the drops are kind of randomized too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the cinematic I got was where Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, kicks one of these little like alien monsters, and then they all rush him, and they're like eating him kind of, and he's like, oh, get him off of me. It's hilarious. It's great, and you get to listen to great music while you're riding this terrifying ride, essentially. It's so much fun. But go for the Easter eggs, go for the ride, and to see that little animatronic Rocket Raccoon is really cool. Amazing. They did a great job.
All right, I gotta get there. You guys too, go ahead and check it out. Disney's California Adventure. Joe, I love Rosario Dawson. I've loved her in Kids. I fell in love with her mostly in Rent, 7 pounds, and now she's going to be officially cast in the New Mutants movie. Who's she gonna be?
She's gonna be Dr. Cecilia Reyes, who's playing the New Mutants mentor. Now, This is interesting because James McAvoy will not be playing Professor Charles Xavier, nor
I love him.
will Alexandria ship be coming back as Storm. So those were all rumors, and now we know that Rosario Dawson will be playing Dr. Cecilia Reyes. This is going to be amazing. Now, she has already ties to the MCU. She's played in every single one of the Netflix series. Josh Brolin is also tied to the MCU as Thanos and is playing Cable. Now, she's in the X-Men universe. This is crazy. This is amazing. She's going to do a great job. I'm excited for this movie. I'm excited for New Mutants. It's going to be a superhero horror movie, as it's described.
Good.
So this
I'm into it.
should be pretty cool. And I like all these characters, so kudos to you.
New Mutants comes out April 13th, 2018.
Yo ho ho ho, a pirate's life for me.
Arr.
Last week I interviewed the cast of Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales. This is the 5th installment in the franchise.
Let's see it.
Let's see it, Joe.
It was important for us to honor the mythology of the series and trying to maintain the tone that I think Gore Verbinski set so brilliantly making the first one.
What attracted you to the role of Captain Salazar?
Well, the idea of playing with both things, of trying to make it more realistic and bringing a reason behind of why he does what he does, and at the same time balance it with playing it in a Disney movie, which is you have to light it up and bring some music to it. Otherwise, it won't belong to that movie.
There's going to be a lot of comparisons to Keira Knightley's character, Elizabeth. What can you say are the major differences? Obviously, they're not the same at all.
No. I think for me, I went into it knowing that they're definitely, as I put it, they're from different sides of the track. Karina has had to work for everything. She's had to survive completely on her own. She has not been brought up in a luxurious world. The backstory that I've created for her is that she left the orphanage very young. And I think that's kind of, what sets them apart.
What was it about this storyline that piqued your interest into returning?
The fact that he was seemingly now having the misfortune of having lost a leg, that was a setback. The fact that he'd become obscenely wealthy, because he had, I knew from the end of the 4th film, they've given me this Blackbeard scimitar, which is kind of like, you've got that, you control everything.
One thing I noticed about this film is that it can be interpreted to being the end, or in other cases it can be a new beginning. Which one is it to you?
I think it's a new beginning. I think it's tying a lot of loose ends together, and also providing an opportunity to continue the story and continue the journey.
Nice interviews, Joe.
I know, that guy's great. Now back to work, dickhead.
If you guys want to see the full interview, be sure to check out ScreenRant.com. Joe's interview will be under SR Exclusives.
And you got one coming up pretty soon.
Pretty soon? Not yet.
Coming to the Sony Superhero Cinematic Universe is Silver Sable and Black Cat in Silver and Black. I feel like a rapper, but I'm not. Now, this is going to be the spin-off of the Spider-Man franchise. However, it's not connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's going to be directed by Gina Blywood. Now, if you're not familiar with her work, she has done Cloak and Dagger for Marvel's Freeform series. Interesting story, though, is that Roxxon, the company connected in all the Marvel TV shows, does appear in this film. Now, we're not saying that it's connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we're saying it could be connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, there's also a theory out there going around that last week we got the announcement of Tom Hardy playing Venom for Sony, that this is all leverage for Sony to sell their motion picture department because it is losing a lot of money, over $700 million in the last few months or so. Really? Yes, and a lot of people are saying that this is leverage for a company like Disney to buy them off, which could work because Sony's money comes from their technology and like video game division, not from their movies.
Right.
So I'm excited for the news of what could happen, but I'm not so much excited for these two heroes, mainly because I don't give a fuck. And without Spider-Man, it doesn't make any sense. So there.
So you're not a fan?
I'm not a fan of this news. I do like that they're casting. Having a woman-led director taking over this property. But
me too.
I'm more so excited by the fact that Disney could buy Sony Pictures. Not necessarily for Sony to make superhero movies, because I feel like that's just a cash grab, but I think they're a little smarter than that. I think, well, then again, they did make Amazing Spider-Man too. So
You're
who
so
knows?
business, Joe. It's all business with you.
I mean, it's leverage. It's leverage. I think it's leverage.
No,
I
it
think
makes
it's,
sense.
You know, what if somebody picks up these properties, and I think it's just leverage. I think that Disney will eventually listen. Tom Holland said he wants to make a Spider-Man movie every 2 years, and he wants to do it until he's 40 years old. So we'll see.
Unfortunately, Zack Snyder has stepped down as director for the new Justice League film after grieving the tragic loss of his daughter, who committed suicide back in March. We didn't really hear much about her death until most recently when he had to step down.
Yeah, so I mean, with an artist like Zack Snyder, he wanted to just immerse himself into work, and then he realized that got to be a little too much. So he's dealing with the most pressing issue at the moment, and that's with his family, Deborah and his other daughter. Our heart goes out to Zack and Deborah Snyder and the whole Snyder family and the DC family, because everybody that's connected to this is affected, and it's a tragic, tragic loss. And you'd never want to hear it. I hate talking about these stories because it's like such a downer. You know what I mean? And it's so sad.
It is, but it is still connected to geek pop culture news, and we're a family, right? So we got to stick together and bring these sad stories and keep you updated.
Yes, and anyone that struggles with depression or thoughts of suicide, there is help out there. It is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. They can be reached at 1-800-273-8255. Give them a call if you're struggling with any of this stuff. They're there to help you, and we encourage it, obviously. So there is help out there. But taking over for Zack Snyder is going to be Joss Whedon. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Joss Whedon, why even watching our show, man? Because he's the director of the Avengers, the Buffyverse, Firefly. He's done amazing work, and now he can add Justice League to his resume. I'm excited for his kind of vision of what Justice. This is really going to be Zack Snyder's vision, but now
he's doing pickup shots.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
and he's going to execute it. So I'm curious to see how he execute it in his Whedon kind of way. I'm really excited to see what he does. But again, our heart goes out to Zack Snyder, Deborah Snyder, and the whole DC family that's connected to this. But the show must go on, and Joss Whedon is taking over Justice League.
All right, guys, that is it for this week's #newsfeed. We have new videos premiering all week long, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and hang here for everything trending
in geek pop culture. And go see Wonder Woman coming out this week on June 2nd.